crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. Today we have a really pretty card that we're going to make with you. It is called a faux watercolor card. I think you're really going to like it. We are using Ridiculously Awesome today. It's one of the new stamp sets in the annual catalog. Oh my goodness, we love this stamp set because the wording is so big. And these sentiments, oh my goodness, make today ridiculously awesome. You got this. You are my sunshine. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. P.S. I love you. Are these not great sentiments? Now look at this. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. And we've cut out the center and raised up the top, and then we've also embossed the center. Let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. So we have our glass mat here because the faux watercolor that we use uses the distressed ink, and we are going to use our glass mat to create that background. So let's see how we do this. First thing you'll need to do is go ahead and cut you a mat in watercolor paper. Make sure you have a spritzer, and we are using the spritzer from Stampin' Up! So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and just grab our purple. And remember, we'll have all these materials and supplies listed below the video. And then also you can head on over to our Creative Moments by G.com and go to our blog and you can pick up the dimensions. So go ahead and stamp this on your glass mat, or maybe you want to use Glad wrap or saran wrap. And I'm going to go ahead and pick another color, and I'm just going to dab that next to it. And now I'm going to get my water spritzer, and I'm just going to spray it until it starts to bead up. Then I'm going to take my watercolor paper and I'm just going to press down and pick it up. Okay, now you want to make sure that you dry it in between using, right? Because you don't want your colors to bleed into each other. And now we're going to wipe that off and pick up another color. We're going to pick up the blue, and I'll pick up the lighter red, and I'm going to go ahead and put my purple on the other side. Now we're just going to get our spritzer again and put it down on our paper. Lift up. Oh, look, getting some great color. We're going to go ahead and just dry that just a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and put some red right here, and I'm going to really darken this red a little bit. And then I'm going to pick up my purple and really dab it on there. Now I'm going to come in with my spritzer, and let's get this corner over here. Give it a quick dry, and we are going to stop right there. Now remember, we are going to cut the center out, so that is also going to kind of diffuse the color right here, right? So let's go ahead and move our glass mat out of the way. We're done with our watercolor. We're going to bring in our die cuts that we're going to be using and kind of look at where we're going to do that. Now, we're going to cut it about right here, and then we're going to stamp it right in the middle of this. We're going to go ahead and get this cut out. We're going to bring in our Big Shot. Now, look at this. Look at that beautiful frame. Now we can save this frame for later, right? We love this. We can make another card out of that. And we just used the postcard die set. And like I said, all the dimensions will be listed. This is where we're going to emboss our saying. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our Stamparatus. Okay, so we're going to put our magnet here, and we're going to put our magnet here. And before we put our Versamark on it, we will use our little embossing buddy. And just go over it very nicely. Just to kind of get the static out of it. Make sure it's still in the right place. Yes. Now we're going to use our Versamark. Ink it up. Press it down. Hold it. And then we're going to ink it again. Just to make sure we get all the letters. Just really push down. We are going to use black. So I'm going to bring in our black embossing powder. I like to just thump it on the back. Now, you might see a few places that you have some embossing powder you don't want. So just bring in your brush. That's a great tip. Bring in your brush and simply wipe it away. And it comes off just perfectly. Okay, there we have it. So I'm going to bring in my embossing tool, and we're going to go ahead and get this heated up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love how shiny it is. Now the next thing we need to do is go ahead and pick out our card. Well, you know what we do is we keep our cards that we've pre-cut and we just put them in a box for us. And I think what I want to use today is I want to use one of the new in colors, Magenta Madness. I think that will go beautifully with this. Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're going to go ahead and use our multi-purpose glue. We're going to get that glued down. And then we will work on our other piece. Oh, this faux watercolor is just beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? Now on this one, we need to raise it up. So what we have done is we went to Joann's and we purchased this big set of foam pads. This costs less than the 8.5 by 11 sheets of foam. So you can just go to Joann's and get this and you have all the colors. So we are going to use a pink color as the background, and I'm simply going to run it through again, the Big Shot, and that will be our piece that we put behind this to help raise it up, right? And here we have it. We just cut it out using our die cut, and now we are simply going to glue it to the back of this. So let's go ahead and get our multi-purpose glue. Get that glued down. And then we will be ready to set it up onto some dimensionals, because I think we need to have it up a little higher. So we're going to take some dimensionals and just put it on the back. Okay. And we'll put one in the center so that we have a good foundation. And I'll use my Take Your Pick tool to go ahead and take the backing off of the dimensionals. Now, because we cut a larger die cut and a smaller, we actually have a border around it. So here's the front of this card. Now let's go ahead and add some rhinestones to it. We are going to use our Take Your Pick tool, but we're going to use the other end. And we're just going to use this little rubber end right here to pick up our rhinestones. So let's go ahead and pick up some pink. Just put one right there. And we'll put another pink one. Let's put it down here. And maybe we need, I'm thinking purple. There we have it. We just added some sparkle to it, right? Didn't that turn out pretty? Now we have to go ahead and put a piece of paper on the inside, right? Because we need to be able to write our message. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and leave the inside blank because that allows me to decide later on exactly what I want to say on this particular card. Now, look at this card. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? I love the postcard die set. I love that it's raised up on foam and dimensionals, gives you that extra height. I love this new stamp set that we're using. This is the one that we showed you earlier that we did. We have a very different structure of our faux watercolor, right? Let your faith be bigger than your fear. And then we also did this one, You Are My Sunshine. What do you think? Do you like this stamp set? Remember, if you want to buy supplies and materials, go to www.creativemomentsbyg.com and just click shop, and you can use this host code. Now, we love these cards, and thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Remember, be safe, be healthy, be creative in your crafting, and we'll see you in the next video.